Hello everyone, this is Jacob Turnus, the Director of Student Life. I'm making this video as a helpful way to show you how to register your organization events on Cub Connect. So this has always been an option that's been available to RSOs, but now with the current COVID guidelines, it's important for every event to be registered on Cub Connect. So if you've never done that before, once you log into the platform, you should see your account information up at the top with your profile picture, and you should also see your memberships. So if you are a member of an organization and you want to register an event for that organization, you're going to go ahead and click right on it. So I'm going to use the Interfraternity Council today as our example organization. So I'm going to click on the Interfraternity Council, and this will take me to the public profile for IFC. If I am a leader of the organization and have management access, I'll have this little manage button. If you're needing to register an event but don't have this manage organization button, you'll need to work with your organization president or your organization advisor, or you can also contact the Office of Student Life and we'll get you set up as a manager for your organization. So you'll click Manage Organization, and this will bring up the management menu for that organization, which will give you access to the management menu over here, and you will select Events. So this Events page will show all of the events that you have, either in the past or upcoming, and it will also have the button here to create an event. So as we're creating our new event here, I'm going to just create a sample. So we'll call this a council meeting, and I have to select a theme. So this is going to be a group business. These themes help to classify your event in Cub Connect. So this is a meeting, I'll put group business, and then in the description, I'll say join the IFC for our weekly meeting. Masks and social distancing required. And you can use this description box to really describe what your event is. More detail is always better. So if there's something that people need to come prepared to do, if you want to remind them about wearing their mask, you can do that here. If they need to bring something to the meeting, anything that you want to include in this description is helpful because that will let people know what to expect from your meeting. If you were co-hosting an event, you can list a co-hosting organization here. So say instead of a meeting, we were having a joint kickball game with the Interfraternity Council and the Panhellenic Council, we could list them as a co-sponsor. The next step will be to list the time and the place. So as you register your events, you should be working 2 weeks out. And so we're going to go ahead and register our council meeting for Tuesday, September 20th, or excuse me, 29th. And this will happen at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That will also update your end time. The default is 1 hour, but if we needed this council meeting to go longer, we can change that end time there. You will also need to either verify a location or an online location for each event. So I will show you what this looks like with a location. So our location would be Student Center $215, for example. And you can put in, the university address, which will also help to populate this map. I like this helpful map tool because what you can do is you can be a little more specific with where your event is. So 201 Donaghy will put you into the middle of campus, but I know what the campus map looks like, and I can go ahead and zoom in on the student center. And 215 is kind of somewhere back over here in the building. So I can go ahead and do that to kind of pinpoint your event. So that's really helpful, especially if it's an outdoor event and you don't really know how to describe where it is. You can drop that helpful pin on the map. Another helpful feature, particularly if you're registering chapter or reoccurring meetings, is you can add another date. So let's say that we are going to meet every couple of weeks. And so we want to add a date on the 6th of October. And that's going to go ahead and copy your time. It looks like it didn't change my end time, so I'm going to go ahead and change that back so it matches. And I can do this again. So say we're going to meet on the 20th of October as well. And this one actually is only going to be an hour long, so I can limit that there. So what this does now is I was able to register 3 separate occurrences of this meeting without having to submit 3 forms. So that really saves you a lot of time if you're registering reoccurring events. Here in this event visibility, I can choose how wide I want my event to be viewable on Cub Connect. So public is the default, and that means that anybody can see it even if they're not logged into Cub Connect. So people who don't have a Cub Connect account will be able to see this. If you want to limit it just to campus partners or people once they've signed in, you can go students and staff at Cub Connect. So this means they'll have to sign in with a UCA email in order to see your event. Or you can further make that visibility tighter to just your organization members. That means they'll have to be on your Cub Connect roster in order to see this event. Or if you need to even do a tighter population or maybe just a few people, you can do invited users only. So you can maybe invite your executive board, and then if you had a guest speaker, you can invite that person as well. And only those invited users will be able to see it. So since this is just open to students and staff at UCA, I'm going to select that. Options, I am going to select the categories. This is a Greek life event. I can also select multiple categories. So I can say that this is just a general meeting. So I can have those categories there. And say this is the t-shirt, or this is the meeting where those members are going to get a t-shirt. I'm going to go ahead and select a free stuff for a perk. So if you attend that event, you'll know that you're getting something for free. And we're going to click on the next button here, and this will bring up the RSVP page. This year it's really important for us to know how many people are attending each event, and so you will be required to limit the number of available RSVPs. So you'll click on that button there, and then this will bring up a drop-down menu, and I know that only 15 people are going to come to this particular meeting. So I limit that, and then that lets everybody know that only 15 people are going to come. This is really important as you're considering what the capacities are of the rooms that you're using or the spaces that you're using, to make sure that your maximum number of attendees aren't going to be too much for that space. There's some extra features here that we won't touch on today, but if you're interested in learning more about the RSVP tool and having organizations and RSVP questions, you can contact our office. We'll be happy to go through that with you. And then we're going to go to the next page. Hopefully. Okay, so the next page here is post-event feedback. Again, we're not going to get into this today, but this is an option that's available to you if you want to collect some feedback from your meeting attendees. So if you have questions about that, you can contact the Office of Student Life. So we're simply going to click the next button for now, and this will bring up to your upload photo. I highly recommend this because this lets your event stand out a little bit more on the events listing. If you don't upload a photo, it'll just be like kind of a generic brown looking image. But if you want to be able to highlight your organization, you can a little bit more. So I've got our little stick figure meeting men and women. So I'm going to add that as our event picture, and then I'm going to go next. You won't actually ever see that button right there. The reason it pops up and gives me the option to submit right away is because I'm an admin on Cub Connect. But the next page that you will see is this COVID-19 approval conditions form. So depending on the type of the event that you're hosting, we're going to collect some additional information. So for events under 100 attendees without members of the public. So the public means like non-UCA students, faculty, and staff. So that will be the category that this event is in. You could also have an event that's under 100 but is open to members of the public. So say you've got some community members who'll be joining at that event. You could have over 100 events without members of the public. So a large number of students, faculty, and staff gathering, or over 100 attendees open to members of the public. And so what these kind of gives you a description of each of those types of events, and then it kind of lets us on the backside determine how to route or what sorts of approvals you may need. This just helps you only have to submit this registration in one place and not have to go to multiple places. So I am going to select that this is an event with under 100 attendees without members of the public. And then we want to make sure that your faculty staff advisor is aware, and if they're not, you can click that as well. But we would encourage you to work with your faculty staff advisor. So I'm going to go ahead and put myself here as the advisor of IFC, add my email address, and my office phone number. And then you're going to need to click this. I understand this approval process is needed until lifted by the Arkansas Department of Health. You know, the reason that UCA is putting these steps in place is because we are following the guidance from the state directives, which are, if you're ever interested in those state directives, we actually do have a link here. So everything the university is doing is in order to be compliant with what the state is asking. I'm going to click next, and then based on my question or my answer, it's going to pop me over here to this this little page. So again, I'm the primary contact for this event. I will put here my information. So, you know, if you say you're the president of the organization and you're registering this event, but it's actually your event's chairperson who's in charge, you'll list that event primary contact there. And then here we're just going to have a brief description of how you'll manage the logistics of this event. So I'm just going to put in here a couple of notes. So just a couple of notes in there. Just this lets us know and lets the review group know that you are thinking about how you're going to help keep your attendees safe. With events under 100 people and without public, you don't really have to provide a whole lot of detail here. But if you do have any supplemental materials, like say you have a meeting agenda that you'd like to share with us so that you can, or you've typed up a plan somewhere else that you'd just be easier to upload, you can upload this file here. An upload isn't required, but if you choose to upload something instead of filling this out, you will need to put, like see uploaded document for more information or something, because this box is required. From here, you will go to the next screen, and this will bring you to the review submission. Now, one of the biggest mistakes people get to is they get to this page and they think they are done and they exit out of the browser. This does not actually submit until you click this blue submit button. So make sure that when you get to this page, you're going to click the blue submit button, which actually sends it into Cub Connect. Until you click this blue button, it's just listed as pending on your own personal Cub Connect page, and it never gets submitted to the Office of Student Life. Before I do that, though, I'm actually going to back up here a little bit and show you what it looks like if this were a larger event. So open to members of the public, or say that this is an event with over 100 attendees, these pages are going to be similar. So now here you'll see that instead of just a one little page about describe what you're going to be doing, it's going to bring up a little more detailed information. As you're having a larger event, you need to show that you're prepared to conduct that event safely. So I'm going to say that there will not be food at this event. And then I'm going to need to explain the following for event safety. And there's some specific questions here. I would really encourage you to be detailed with this section so that we and the people who need to review these and approve these have enough information and don't have to come back for you with questions. For right now, I'm just going to not complete that in the interest of time for this video. The next question is explain the following for flow of the event. So how people will move in and out, what the entry and exit points are. You know, if you have a lot of people, you need to make sure that you're moving them in and out of the space safely. And then are you utilizing signage? And if that location doesn't already have signage, you can work with us to provide some signage for you. You're also going to need to upload a map or a floor plan of that area. So if it's going to be out at an outdoor location, you know, you could use a screenshot of Google Maps with some notes written on it. That would be good, or floor plans of the various buildings and spaces are available through the physical plant here at UCA. So you will need to upload something here. Just so that I can move on, I'm going to just upload a random file here. And then you are agreeing that you are going to comply with the requirements from the Department of Health directives. So those can be found here. Additional signage and resources can be found here. And then it kind of gives you the steps. And so you are agreeing that you are going to do these things, and then also you understand what the facility's physical distancing diagram is. So each building administrator for each space can provide that for you. So say if you're utilizing the student center ballroom for an event of 120 people, the student center can provide that information to you. So I'm going to select yes here, and then that's going to move me on to the next person. Oh, I missed something. Oh, I forgot to. And see, if you don't fill out this information, it will bounce you back. Again, in the interest of time, I'm not typing in information, but on your application, you should provide a detailed explanation there. And then again, this will bring you to the final page where you will need to click submit. So during the application process, you will only ever see this last page, one or the other. You won't see both of them. You'll either see the events under 100, or you'll see the large events with public guests. So there's some routing logic built into the form so that you're submitting the correct information. So hopefully this is helpful. If you have any questions about this process or can't quite figure out how to make it work for your organization, please reach out to the Office of Student Life. We are here to help you make this happen. So thanks and take care.